I want to give you my top 5 women's historical fiction books based on World War II era. The first one is The Book Thief. The main story has death follow Liesel throughout her life and how she ultimately goes from being an orphan, dealing with the grief and loss of her own family and her siblings, to learning how to read and write and tell stories to help with the hiding of a family friend during the World War II and Nazi invasion. The next one is Sitka's Journey. So this book takes you through Sitka's story of being a Holocaust survivor and being a prisoner and victim during the Nazi invasion, and then once she's liberated, she becomes a victim again through the Soviet army and her life in Siberia. So the next one is The Rose Code. The Rose Code follows the women who helped break the codes during World War II to help defeat the Nazis for Britain. It's a great example of how women actually made an impact during World War II. Next is The Lilac Girls. The Lilac Girls follows the women, it follows numerous different women in different areas throughout the Holocaust. Specifically, it follows a doctor who is part of the eugenics program and works closely with Mengele. It follows the victims of this person. It follows a volunteer helping to right the wrong as best as she could. And it just gives an inside look into like how things like the experiments took place from both sides of the story. And lastly, the book that I want to recommend is The Forbidden Daughter. Now, I'm going to be honest, I only liked half of this book, but The Forbidden Daughter talks about a woman who is ultimately born in a ghetto where the rights of birth were completely stripped from women, meaning that it was illegal to give birth during World War II in this ghetto specifically. And yet this woman, who was the wife of a doctor, completely betrayed this and gave birth to a daughter while in the ghetto. And you go through how the daughter ultimately is hidden and is able to escape from the atrocities that happened during the war, and how she survived. I'll leave them all linked in the description below for you guys.